Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, giving you the top and bottom comics of the week for November 1st, 2022. Alright guys, so here we go. If you know me, you know the drill. What I do is I tell you the comic books I've read, and I give you my thoughts on each one. I give you the top three, the bottom three, and then what I found in between. And this particular week, I read 12 comics. You know, it really wasn't too bad of a week. Didn't have any of those Young Justice stinkers in there, if you will. So, anyway, let's get right to it. I read 12 comics this week, and as I mentioned before in other videos, if there's a comic book that you think I should have read, feel free to let me know. I know there's some have been suggesting. I still haven't quite gotten there yet. I do tend to like to pick them up at the beginning of a storyline, preferably at issue number 1, and try to read all through them. So there's some I'm playing catch up on, so I haven't quite got to reviewing them here yet, but I hope to, or ones maybe that you thought I should definitely avoid to save my life. Let's start today with the top three, shall we? We're going to do top three first. So my number 3 pick was Batman issue 129. And I gave it a 7.45. For those of you that don't understand my measurement system, I give it a grade of 1 through 10. 7 being average. That means 70%. 70% is the average grade-wise. So I'm using like a grading scale. And then you can get 7 point or whatever, or 8 point. But 8s are actually pretty rare. You have to be really good to get an 8, even better a 9. And it has to be absolutely perfect for a 10. So anyway, Batman 129 got a 7.45. That's a pretty darn respectable score. And you're going to hear my papers here for my notes. Anyway, Batman breaks out the big gun, which is interesting because, you know, Batman's so against guns, but he uses a giant gun. And maybe it's because it's against a robot, so it's okay. Anyway, it's an interesting issue, and it has a lot of good amount of action in it. I do enjoy that. It had decent art, and the side story included is decent as well. So if you're a Batman fan, you're already reading this. If not, you might want to go back a couple issues and get the start of this storyline. It's been pretty good so far. Once again, a 7.45 out of 10. All right, my number 2. This one surprised me. It ranked so high, and it was Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 2. Yeah, Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. Who would have thought? And I gave this one, issue number 2 of that, a 7.5. It's quite surprising to me. You know, we have a fake Joker and a real Joker, and the real Joker is upset, but they sort of put a twist on which one's the real Joker and which one's the fake Joker. So it's interesting, or maybe we'll find out none of them is the real Joker. Who the heck knows? All right, but we got a fake one and a real one. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we also get the Red Hood in this issue with a lot of Red Hood action. I really like that. I'm a big Red Hood fan, so if you are, you'll probably like this issue. It's an interesting story. It really is. And the secondary story in this is okay. I know Batman issues are getting padded out with these secondary stories. I wish they sort of wouldn't do that. I want the, you know, you're paying this much for an issue. Give us full content of the story, but that's just an opinion. Once again, a 7.5. Quite a respectable score if you ask me. And my number 1. This one was quite interesting. So DC has taken 2 out of the 3 spots, whereas Marvel has taken the number 1 spot with Deadpool number 1, where I gave this issue a 7.7. I thought the issue has solid art throughout. It's an interesting story. I'm liking it. It's an interesting take. I like how it starts right in the middle of something and just sort of works its way around it. It works out really well. And it's an interesting way to get Carnage back in this as well. I don't go over all the details. I want to surprise you some, but it is an interesting way to bring Carnage back. I'll give it that. And it's got a lot of good Deadpool humor. It doesn't really disappoint in that Deadpool humor area. And for some reason, I just really like this issue, and I gave it a 7.7 out of 10. All right, you know, the bottom. Ooh, the stinkers, and then the ones in between. Before I get to the bottom, I want to take a moment to say thank you to these people here. These people you see here support this channel continuously, and they have helped us significantly. We wouldn't be able to do this without them. They've helped out this channel greatly. It's the reason I can get these comic books and things of that nature. So take time to say thank you. If you want to help out the channel too, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But in the info bar, we have a lot of good information in there where you can join our Patreon or Subscribe Star and get all kinds of benefits. For example, we have backing tracks and music you can use for your videos if you make them or just want to listen to them. That's one of the benefits. We have special videos or extended videos that go just for them. But I've actually added a new thing too. I just started. I have a resale business where I get new things and used things, and the people that are subscribed get significant discounts. So what I'll do is occasionally I put up items there and say, hey, if you want it, let me know. And I mean significant discounts. You're not going to find deals like that anywhere else, I don't think. And I have things like Nintendo Switch controllers, PC game controllers, PlayStation 4 or 5 controllers, charging stations, baby monitors, all kinds of electronics and things like that I can get for you at a really special deal because of the deals I've been working out for my side business. And I'm going to allow to pass that on to you as a thank you. And I'll consider, what you're putting in and help the channel when we come up with a deal on those prices too, because I just want you to have something special as my personal thank you to you as well. All right, with all that shilling aside, let's get to the bottom and then we'll get to the middle. My number 3 of the bottom. Now, this actually hasn't been a bad week. My bottom was She-Hulk number 7, and it got a 7.02. So mind you, it was She-Hulk number 7, but it still got a 7.02. Now, where this series could be better, it really could. It's had a lot of low points. This issue wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. The art was okay. I actually liked the cover. The story was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. And the series, I think, is getting better. It still has that comedy element. And where it's a tough juggle if you have the comedy element, the action, and the seriousness element. This issue just sort of reminded me of the Byrne days for some reason. I like the Byrne years. I didn't care for the Slott years. I think Slott always goes overboard with the humor and fails to land the humor in a lot of cases. Whereas this one did pretty good all around. It kept the readers interested and happy, I think, there. And it makes me want to read more. Believe it or not, this issue was not bad. Once again, 7.02 out of 10. All right, my next one here. You can hear my paper because I got to get my notes all going. Oh, yeah. Here we are. Avengers number 10. Yeah, Avengers number 10 got a 7 out of 10. It's a predictable story. The story just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this variant thing. And let's be honest, when you're reading this issue, the whole time you know how this issue is going to end. And it's progressing the story very slowly. We're 10 issues in, and the story is just really dragging. The art was all right, but really, overall, this issue was nothing special. Just plain up average, henceforth, a 7 out of 10. And the number 1 of the bottom of the barrel. Woo! And this one was a real disappointment one to me. I was having a lot of hopes. Are we ready for this one? The number 1 bottom of the barrel was the new champion of Shazam, number 3. Yeah, number 3, new champion of Shazam. I gave it a 6.7 out of 10. Now, think about, oh boy, this is issue 3 out of 4, and I had high hopes for this because I like this character. I'm not a big fan of removing our traditional Shazam out, but then this issue doubles down on what DC needs to learn not to do, as well as Marvel. Why is everyone, first of all, at DC fixated on the character social media, especially the women characters? They're all got to whip out their phones. It seems like all the time it's all about that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe, actually, I don't think it's just DC. It's DC and Marvel. A little overly fixated on heroes and their social media. And we have that here. But anyway, this issue, I read it. I can't help thinking, is this a cheap shot at all the fans? Because, now they're focusing on a female character and they sort of go on to oh, it's a female, I want the guy. Well, newsflash, if it's an established character that people are fans of, have been fans of for years, it makes sense they want that character and not some substitute character in most cases. So I think we have a bit of that here. But yet, I don't think it's quite earned in things, if you will, because they act like people have never heard in this series who Mary Marvel is, which is ridiculous. And I understand she's not as popular, might be not as many people know her, but they make it like she was non-existent in the public eye, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. And so really we have a good character here that's wasted on the writer's personal issues being drug into the story. It almost seems to me that they think, oh, a woman is viewed as not as important, and the writer's pulling that into the story, and that's really messing it up. This had a lot of potential. If you're gonna take away our Captain Marvel, or Shazam if you will, and take him out for a while, and you want to put a focus on another character, at least write us a good story with that character. Especially when it's a character a lot of us, including myself, like. So don't make her unlikable, please. Make her likable. I do like that she has flaws, and I get that, and I think that's great there in that regard. It just really could have been better. It seems like a missed opportunity. Once again, 6.7 out of 10. All right, now for the ones that are in between. These are, once again, the ones that didn't make it to the top and didn't quite make it to the bottom. And I want to mention, speaking of Captain Marvel, here we go. My first one I want to talk about is Captain Marvel issue number 43. I gave it a 7.4 out of 10. Really, this is a decent story. Yeah, it's not bad. The cover's pretty good, but you know what? The cover just seems like it's missing something. Could be a little better. It's just sort of a little bit flat. A little more effort could have been a lot better cover. This is a new story arc, so if you're interested in Captain Marvel, you might want to check it out. And the Brood is back. I think that's pretty good. If you've followed Captain Marvel and read all of her series like I have, you know she has a connection to the Brood. It's a pretty interesting storyline history with that, and it's nice to see that here. And it's a fun cast of characters. So it's got an interesting group. You got X-Men in this one as well, so you got a mix of some X-Men and Captain Marvel. It's actually a pretty good story. I like it. 7.4. I think it's probably worth checking out. Another one's Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind number 1. I give it a 7. I know this could be a weird one. 7.021 out of 10. It's decent art. It's a cute story, but really it's nothing special. It's nothing that you have to go, oh, I need this issue. If you don't have it, it's perfectly fine. You're not really missing anything here. All right, the next one is Hulk number 10. I gave it a 7.03 out of 10. It's solid art. Yeah. But I'm not the biggest fan, really, of this particular direction for the character. But, you know, I did still find it to be an enjoyable issue. Maybe I'm slowly coming around to it. I don't know. What do you guys think of Hulk? I'd like to know your thoughts on that as well. All right, now this next one is pretty divisive. This is a hot take. Punisher number 7. I gave it a 7.15 out of 10. First of all, I really like this art style. I'm enjoying the art style for this book. I think it's solid. But here's the thing. I really don't like how they changed Frank Castle's past. I hate that. I hate when writers dig into the past and they try to change things just for a one story arc narrative, and they really change the fundamentals of the character. And it's like they're going out of their way to make him out to be a psychopath and worse maybe earlier on than what he was. Whereas, yeah, sure, the military probably did have some issues with him, but the biggest issue that's caused his mental breakdown was when his family was murdered. This is sort of taking it back and adding other elements to it, which really takes away, I think, from the Frank character. But it is nice seeing Daredevil in this issue as well, because I've been looking forward to seeing these two factions of ninjas fight it out. And I probably shouldn't, but I still hope that this whole backstory is fake and it's just temporary because of the powers that be are messing with stuff. Let's put Punisher back the way he was. Let's revert him back to the character that we enjoy rather than trying to twist him and change him because, you know, some people's fifis are getting hurt on Twitter and social media that don't even read the book anyway. All right, my next one is Savage Avengers number 7. I gave it a 7.2 out of 10. It's an interesting story. The art's pretty good, and hey, we got 2099 characters, and I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert here. We got Doom 2099 coming. I like that. I like that we're reading Punisher 2099, and we're getting some Doom 2099. You know what? Let's throw in some Ravage 2099 while we're at it. Yes, I know people don't care about that character, but I thought he was okay at the time. So, who knows what we'll get next in the Secret Avengers. And I read Secret Invasion number 1. I give it a 7.1 out of 10. Marvel once again dips into the well to avoid making something new. We're going to rehash and rechange off the same things and maybe write it a little different. Okay, maybe they're doing a Secret Invasion again. Okay, I can get that, but come on. Come on now, we've been through this before, and I know why you're doing it, because of the TV show and the popularity you're hoping to generate with that and have with that, but come on. Still, this was a fun issue. I can't deny that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's next, and the issue has some decent art. So even though they're retrenching a little bit, dipping into the same well again, I did give it a 7.1 out of 10. So let's see here. Do I have any left? No, I think that would be it. Let me double check my issues here. Yeah, that would be it for this week. The 12 issues I read. Once again, let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking time to let me shill a little bit. But once again, I just wanted to share that there's a lot of perks for joining the channel and supporting the channel, and I like to give back to you as well. So thank you everybody for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, keep it frugal.